do struggle with maintaining so many different passions. Like you said, you do movies, you're an actor, you've written your own book. So how would you say you manage your time and energy between all the things you do? And how can others manage their time as well?
Well, great questions. So I think the key is people overthink and people just really have anxiety around, what if I fail? What if somebody says something? In my book, I have Japanese saying, Hatsuan Tsuiko, which is not the saying that traditionally have, I kind of made up with it, means when you have an idea, execute it without telling anyone. Because when you have some ideas that sometimes naysayers might say, hey, you shouldn't do that. Hey, it's gonna fail. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't tell people anything until I finish the project. And the fact that I finished the project, I will tell, hey, my book is out. Hey, my podcast is out. Hey, this is done. So I would say, even a nonprofit, I was president and founder. I had a lot of brainstorm. I had a board of directors. And then obviously, you have to go against it. Less of brainstorming with other people is better. And then how I manage my time. So I used to have a lot of to-do lists. And then because when I was running a nonprofit, I had to go to maybe 14 different meetings a day. Now I'm actually slower, busy, not less busier than when I was running a nonprofit. But I would say as a journalist, 1 month I wrote 23 articles. It's a lot of articles on top of raising children and all that stuff. I would say just show up without overthinking. People overthink and then people just listen to different people. I don't. I just don't listen to people. And it's like not stubbornness or being conceited. It's consistency, it's commitment, and then you just have to know what you're capable of. And then I also want to tell young people, I've had many interns and volunteers, like say we had a conference, for instance, and then our interns from the college got really nervous. Oh, how can I present? So I said, this is my own thing. Opportunity is not provided. Opportunity is not given when you're not capable of doing it. It's here. My podcast and your podcast is here because we are capable. So people don't understand opportunities don't come to you. It's not spoon-fed. You earn it. So when you show up, you are already capable, and the people trust you that you are able to do that. So that's why I think I believe that philosophy helps. But time management wise, I just do it like without thinking, because time is so valuable to me.
Yes.
So like when I started, for instance, DBA, Jewel Productions, when I write grant. So the other day I just submitted my film script to 5-6 different film festivals.
Oh wow.
I never asked anyone's opinion about it. I just researched and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna submit it. And after the fact I submitted, I posted on Facebook page, hey, this is what I submitted. So don't tell people unless you are lost, unless you seek advice. And I'm a SCORE mentor. SCORE.org is a free resources from different people who had businesses in the past. So those are the resources that you can use as well.
Oh wow, that's truly amazing. I definitely think the idea of show don't tell is definitely a big thing among a lot of successful people. I think that's an amazing point to touch upon. Really just showcasing and putting yourself out there and spreading that great news is a very big deal. And that's just amazing. It seems like you've definitely have spoken a lot about resilience and overcoming so many challenges. So I kind of wanted to move on to a little bit to our next question about how you were able to multitask. I know you said you had a lot about scheduling, you kind of just went with it. And I think that was a great thing. And also the idea of multitasking, planning out and being very organized. But when things don't really go planned, so like whether it's a failed project or you get a rejection, how have you built your mindset off of that? How have you let that shape you? And how have you really stayed grounded and capable of multitasking?
Wow, that's a big question, Saloni, and thank you. I appreciate it. for instance, I do acting, I send self-tape and I don't hear back, and then that means I didn't get the job. And you just keep going, you just don't think about it, because sometimes my acting teacher, shout out to James Demont, said it's not rejection, it's selection. So it's one of the way I would say, it's opportunity and chances that it's maybe just not right fit, right time for you. And then I have a funny story. It's not funny, but you know how you say one door closes and one door opens,
yes,
right?
yes.
So I took a real estate test and I miserably failed. The same day I got a speaking role for Don't Look Up, which is with the Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, wow.
2 hours later I failed, and I was like, oh, I failed. And I got a call, oh, you got the role. So
wow, that's amazing.
So just, don't give up. And then I would say, some things are out of control, obviously, but multitasking wise, I used to do this. This is very tangible advice for young people, especially. I like to use old school paper than to-do list on the phone or a digital version, because the paper, you can kind of see it. Two things that you can do. One, you write goals and then put on the wall, and that's really tangible. It's like a quantum physics and then manifestation. It's visualization that works. You plot the future, and then most of my dreams came true. I always say, what is your dream? Everything came true, so I don't have any more dreams. Yes, I have to kind of find something, but it all came true because I planned it. I was intentional. So for the young people, the good thing about it is that you can write anything, like a vision board, right? But then I really highly suggest it. Even I did actually Canva and use it on the screensaver. That just repetitive subconsciousness training is very important. But for the multitasking piece of it, thank you for the question. So if you have a piece of paper, you cut it, say a section, like email, phone call, meeting. So you categorize your to-do list, and then do not do email until say 10 p.m. or say 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. for instance. So make the email list. So I have to reply to 10 different people. I have to make call for 10 different people. But you can obviously sporadically do it. But if you are super busy, that kind of worked for me. So I dedicate time for just phone call time or email time. Sometimes it works, but now I'm a journalist, so a lot of information come at any time of my day, so I just can't apply that. But if you're running a nonprofit, if you're running a business, that's kind of applicable. And as a school mentor, I definitely did advise that to the client or mentee that I was helping out, because he was trying to start up the business, but so many things happen, and the family obviously. So I would say just write a list of email, write a list of to-do, and then just cut the time, make almost like a pie chart in your to-do list, and then execute it in the time manner. Even set a timer, and then after 30 minutes over, so the priority goes first. But then if you can't do it, don't guilt trip yourself, don't beat yourself. There's always tomorrow, right? Yes. So if you have 20 people that you have to email, and then you only were able to get to 10 emails, don't worry about it, and then put it tomorrow. But then obviously timely manner, if it's like a deadline, you have to drop everything. And another thing is, I'm a reporter, so sometimes I have a super tight deadline. I just have to say to my kids, Mama has to check out. I just need this half an hour. I need to focus. Don't bother me. So sometimes it works.
No, that definitely sounds very inspirational, very great. I think the paper and pen method it might be traditional, but it definitely does work. Definitely really lets you set your goals, and I think that's definitely an amazing method of going about being so organized and just very skillful in general. I think that's very inspiring. And I also think that's something a lot of young entrepreneurs or just the youth in general should really learn about. A lot of people are just onto technology. So really understanding that maybe all you need is just a pen and pencil and piece of paper to really build your goal and to really put yourself out there and get those opportunities. I think that's very inspirational. So thank you so much for
Sure.
sharing.
And then another thing of technology I like about is I say I have like 10,000 contacts on my phone.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because every production, sometimes say Citizens Bank, I did 2020, but then I wrote all the camera and the crew, and then some people say, do you remember the camera person for the Citizens Bank? Yes, I go to Citizens Bank. And then I also write when I meet people, the date that I met that person,
Oh, wow.
and then where.
Oh,
So
wow.
then I have a connection. And then the success of business really is remembering who they are and then the rapport building. As a business, not only business, but people like to be remembered. But how you remember that person is really connect that person with the occupation, with the feature, with the story. So like some people kind of freak out. How do you remember this? It's because I care. So, for instance, I interviewed this wonderful sound engineer, and Mix One CEO. Hi, David Porter. And then, I interviewed him, right? But years later, I said, how's your son so-and-so? How's your daughter so-and-so at this place and this work? And how do you remember that? Because I pay attention. Because those are really rapport building, family, and also sharing your own story can really boost up the relationship. So even like business sales, right?
Yeah.
Like you go cold call, you go like door to door. But then when you talk genuinely about your product, for instance, you want to sell something, right?
Yes.
But then you just tell them your true story, be authentic, as genuine as possible, and then really tell your story, why you're here and what you want. Yeah.
I think that's truly amazing. Definitely being able to remember so many people. I think that's such a big skill. I also know there's so many quotes about that, and I saw one which was people admire and remember you the most about how you make them feel. So I think being able to remember someone and their story and just honestly a lot about them, their background and what they have to share, I think that's truly amazing. So that's definitely wonderful to learn. Thank you so much for sharing that. And it seems that you've honestly built such a meaningful career with what you've done, Shuri. And I had a question about what advice would you really give to young people, especially the youth, young entrepreneurs who want to follow their passions but are really scared to take that first step into it. What would you recommend?
I know it's very scary. When I started a nonprofit, I didn't even know what nonprofit was. I literally Googled, help kids, help kids in jail, like music or something, just like any probation officer. Bill Stewart, hi Bill, came out, and then on a Google search, and I just literally contacted. So I would say, when you search, do a good question search. So ask a good question. So I would say, not knowing the answer is okay, but asking like creative questions and then really cut out like anything around it, but go to the core of what you want, what you're looking for. Then the answer will come to you. But then also you need to take an action. Like my case, for instance, I saw this probation officer when I say help kids in detention center or jail or something, and then he came up, Bill Stewart, of his youth work. So I called him right away, and I said, my name is J Love. I had a different name, but I just said, how can I do this?
Yeah.
And he gave me great advice, and that's kind of how it started. So I would say cold calls, don't worry about it. Just people, like I think especially young people are afraid to ask questions to people who are accomplished. But we like to give advice, and then I still ask questions. And then the questions, that means you want to learn and you want to grow, and then it shows passion. So don't be afraid to ask good questions and then take an action. Don't be afraid. Don't waste your time. Don't overthink. Just do it.
Yeah. I think that's truly amazing, Jury. I think definitely taking that first step is very inspirational. Thank you for sharing that. Definitely as someone who's been so accomplished, I think that's just truly amazing. For all the youth that are listening, definitely take that first step. Don't be shy. Really get yourself out there because, when one door closes, another one opens. So that's definitely something to remember. And Jury, lastly, I wanted to ask you, for all our guests, we mostly do this for all the people on the podcast, what does purpose mean to you in one word or in one sentence? Definitely think about this.
Wow. I would say purpose is to find a purpose.
Is purpose. It's self-fulfilling. That's truly amazing. Well, it's definitely a great conversation, Jury. Thank you so much for being so open, so inspiring, and we've definitely learned so much about your story and who you are. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, and for everyone listening, remember that today's episode's keyword is purpose. So no matter where you are